Hello, you've heard the saying it takes a village. Well, the village is taking several young people to New York for an up-close experience with the fashion industry. We'll tell you about the local Kinship care organization that's making it happen. And the Citizen Science Lab is all about introducing kids to STEM and its life-changing potential. The founder is here to tell us about their expansion plans and their upcoming gala with a rising R&B star headliner. Plus, speaking of stars, all of the jazz stars will be in town soon for the 15th annual Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. Janice Burley-Wilson joins us with the lineup, the food, the fun, and the train. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA+, and the host of Intersections. All across Pittsburgh and the country, there are families that are taking on the unexpected job of raising children and other family members. It's called Kinship Care, and a Pittsburgh-based organization helps support those families with resources, support, and also inspiring experiences. Dr. David Brock is joining us. He is the lead national consultant and former managing director for A Second Chance Incorporated. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about A Second Chance Incorporated.
Well, A Second Chance started 31 years ago by our CEO, Dr. Sharon McDaniel, who was herself raised in what we call kinship. That's simply individuals that have their family member, for whatever reason, in their care. Then they have, it's the old Southern saying, you have your kin. Well, she started an organization because she recognized the needs of kinship families are different than those in traditional foster care. So 31 years ago, she embarked on a journey to change lives of children and has been doing so for these last almost 32 years.
Yeah, so how does the organization help these families?
We help them by understanding, first of all, the needs. There's needs, we call it the triad, which is the child who is in care or the youth in care, the caregiver who's providing that care, and the birth parent. We kind of look like a three-legged stool. You got to work with all three if you want to have great outcomes. So we provide supports for all three of those. So the children get supports in their needs around education or whatever. The caregiver gets supports in respite care when she needs or he needs help. And then also the birth parent, if they have to do certain things in order to be reunited with their children, then we work with the birth parents to make sure that they're meeting all the needs so that they can be reunited with their child.
Yeah. So one of the things that you guys have coming up is something new where you're introducing them to the fashion industry. So tell us about this program.
Well, we've got a great program. It's an exciting program. It's called Fashion Forward Kinspire. We're inspiring children who have interests in the arts and in the fashion industry. And it was a brainchild of Dr. Sharon. She went to New York Fashion Week, and when she was there, she thought what a wonderful opportunity it would be to expose children who have an interest in the arts and fashion to this world. So we went to work. That we laugh and say, Doc, we call her Doc. Doc will come up with a program in the middle of the night and wake up, say, I had an idea, and we all jump on board. So we began working to put this program together, and we'll be taking children from Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and we have children from New York, and even one coming from the West Coast who has been in our program, and we've been working with them each week around the fashion industry, what it takes, and their goals, their desires, their dreams, and we're exposing them to this industry. Yeah. So they will be working with different artists, different designers. They'll be able to see the backstage and what happens in the backstage. It's just a phenomenal program. I could go on and on,
yeah.
So I'll let you get the next question.
Yeah, no. So how did you guys land on fashion? Because there's like so many different areas that you could have.
Well, if you know anything about Dr. Sharon, she is a fashionista, and she loves fashion. She has an actual page that she just shows and talks about fashion and leadership called In Style PhD. She started with that, and from that she realized that there are children who have desires and needs and wants to expand in this area who are not necessarily given the opportunity. So she is always looking to give these children who are in care opportunities that they don't lack in any area of their lives. And so we landed on fashion because, again, she was was there in New York Fashion Week and came back talking about it, and we just hit the ground running. And we have kids that got on board. They had to do an essay. They had to do an application. We didn't just say you can be a part. They had to show their desire, and they had to demonstrate their desire in this area. And so we've got these children. We've been working with them, and we're excited. They'll be going to New York Fashion Week in a few days.
Yeah. Are there some famous names in New York that you guys have kind of been talking with to kind of make this happen?
So there's a bunch. I want to give it all away, but yes, we have some great designers. We are working with some major headliners. We've been fortunate. I was sharing in the green room about one particular one, but we have some major designers, some individuals that are out there in the forefront who are joining us in this effort, and it's growing. Every time we make a call, someone jumps on board and says, yes, let's change the lives for these children. Let's give them an opportunity that they may not have. So when they go, they are tasked with making relationships, getting some contacts, and building on that. It's just not just going to see. They're going to work. They're going to work in the runway. They're going to work in the background of the shows and meet these designers and talk to these designers. So they're getting exposed to the real deal. It's just not a flowery, you get to sit there and everything is good. No, they're going to work while they're there.
Wow, wow. And then there's also another organization you're collaborating with.
Yes, we are collaborating with an organization called Think of Us. And Think of Us and the Second Chance have worked together on numerous projects. And so they have come alongside to partner with us to make this work. And they've been right there with us in every facet of this job, in this work. They've been right there on board with us. And so they will be there as well. Representatives of their organization, their CEO will be there. Six Toe Cancel will be there with our CEO, Dr. Sharon McDaniel, and our team. We call it the Kinspire Leadership Team. We'll all be on the ground with these kids doing this next week. So it's exciting.
Yes, it does sound exciting. It sounds like they're going to get a lot out of it. And we can't wait to hear when you come back what all happened. So we'll have to make contact to see how everything went.
Absolutely. We're grateful for the opportunity. And if anybody's interested, they can look us up at FF Kinspire 2025 on Instagram. Find us there, or find our Facebook page, or reach out to a Second Chance, and we'll definitely be glad to connect them. We're always looking for supporters and resources to change the lives for these children.
All right. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity. Take care.
All righty. And coming up, a program that uses science to spark the creativity in students is expanding. Intersections, we'll be right back. Well, the Citizen Science Lab is marking 10 years of working with local students and helping them expand their STEM horizons. And this year marks a major milestone for the organization, their first ever gala, and a couple of major expansions. Dr. Andre Samuel is the founder, president, and CEO of the Citizen Science Lab. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So 10 years, how have things changed in these 10 years that you guys have been around?
Wow. Well, things have changed a lot, right? In 10 years, we've dealt with a lot, pandemic and so on. But I think what's changed mostly is that we've been able to create more scientists of color, and put people from the Hill District, Lincoln Larimer, downtown, and so on into science careers through our work. So that's been awesome.
So is this kind of where you thought you would be?
Yeah, I think so. I was hoping this is where we would be. I certainly wasn't sure if we would make it to 10 years. I think for me, it was year by year. We put our head down, we did a lot of work, and then when we look up, boom, it's 10 years later.
Yeah. So you have these expansions with an S that you have coming up, and one is your location. You're changing physical location. You're adding to a building. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to be and how that process, how this building is going.
Yeah, sure. So we acquired the abandoned Martin Luther King Library and Cultural Center in the Hill District. We acquired that in December of 2024, and now we are working on revamping that space and turning it into 5,600 square feet of state-of-the-art laboratory space for the community. And so we are adding 3D printing rooms, an animal room, 3 teaching labs, a flex cafe space, a beautiful space right there for the community. That's what we're doing there in the Hill District.
Yeah. Were the students able to kind of have some input on what they wanted this to look like and what they wanted it to be? be?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that we did do is we reached out to students that we work with to see, like, we do surveys of the students to find out what kind of experiments they'd like to see, whether or not the experiments we're working on works, and what some of the new stuff and new equipment that they'd like to see in the new space.
Why was it important to be in the Hill District?
Oh, wow, that's hugely important for us because, one, we were born in the Hill District. So our very first site was at the old Connolly building at the Energy Innovation Center. That's where we were born in 2015. And it was important for us to create a space where we knew everyone was going to want to have a piece of this and want to come visit, but we wanted to make sure that it was in our own neighborhood, and so that people from outside of the neighborhood could come to us and visit our space rather than us having our students go out of our own neighborhoods to acquire these resources.
Yeah. What's the timeline looking like? When you think it'll be done?
Oh, wow. So we'll be move-in ready in November of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're going to take a few months to hire and get everyone trained and all of that. And we will open for summer camps in June of 2026.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's just one.
Yeah.
The other thing you're doing is you are expanding the program outside of Pittsburgh, which is huge. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, so this has always been the vision and the goal when I became the founder and CEO of the Citizen Science Lab. It was to expand into other cities and other markets. We know Pittsburgh has a great need for science education, and particularly that sort of hand-in-hand curriculum that goes with schools, right? But we also know that the need is everywhere, and so we're looking to expand next into Washington, D.C. After that, we're looking at Philadelphia, and then the third spot is Detroit. And so within the next few years, we will be working on opening up a Citizen Science Lab in those 3 markets.
Yeah. So you have a really exciting thing happening. You have the Dreamfest Gala, your first gala.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. What will people experience when because it's going to have a science flair, I'm sure.
Of course. So the first thing we're doing, right, is we have the premiere of part 2 of our documentary For the Culture, part 2 synthesis.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be premiered, and then we also have a first, right? We're bringing Amaria to Pittsburgh. This is the first time she's ever been in this market. She's a huge up and rising R&B artist, very smooth R&B soul sound, so she's going to be performing. We're featuring a science-based cocktail that's going to be really, really cool and give you a really cool sort of smoky effect. That cocktail comes with every ticket that's purchased, so you get a free cocktail with that. And then we have a reception that's at the end of the night from like 8:30 to 10, where we can just hang out, party, and dance a little bit. DJ Femi is going to be on the Wheels of Steel for that night.
And this is like a family event, all ages are free to come.
Absolutely. This is all ages, right? So you can bring the kids. Amaria is a great artist, very family oriented. Everything is appropriate for all ages. So definitely come on out and have a good time. Bring the kids, bring the little ones, bring the older ones. We're all good.
Yeah. And what's the date and time and all that?
Yeah, so the gala is going to be held on Friday, September 12th. It starts at 6 a.m. Doors open at 6 a.m.
Or p.m.
I'm sorry, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
That'd be a really early gala.
The doors open at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And then the next day is our block party, which will be right in front of the Heron Avenue site, and that is from 1 to 5 p.m. at 636 Heron Avenue.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a lot of really great and exciting things happening, with the Citizen Science Lab, and wishing you all much success, and hopefully we'll get to see the big grand opening when it happens later this year.
Absolutely. I can't wait to invite you.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. And stay with us. We are talking more music with the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival hitting the streets and stage soon. Intersections will be right back. Well, for 15 years, Pittsburgh stages have been home to some jazz greats as part of the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. This year features another show-stopping lineup, as well as a tribute to a hometown favorite. Here to share the full rundown of the events is Janice Wilson. She is the president and CEO of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center and the director of the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. Thanks so much for being with us again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, 15 years, how has this festival evolved in these 15 years?
Well, I would say it's evolved in a number of ways. It's not just a Pittsburgh festival. We have people that come in from all over the country, where they have friends from different parts of the country that meet in Pittsburgh for this festival every year. And because we've been around for it's the 15th edition. We had to skip a year. But because it's been around for over a decade, we have people that bring their kids, and they started bringing their grandchildren. So it becomes a reunion every year.
Yeah.
My hair was a lot darker when we started the festival.
Yeah.
So, some of us look different. And then there's also been a number of great musicians that played the festival that are no longer with us. And it's an honor and a pleasure to present these amazing artists. And I'm just grateful that we're still here and we still have the support. And the festival is supported by Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield. They are the co-presenting sponsor with the August Wilson Center. But we have a number of other sponsors that have been with us since day one. And we're just grateful to all of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. So is there something new this year? I saw something about the street festival where there's lots of food and things like that.
Right, so we are collaborating with the Pittsburgh, Downtown Neighborhood Alliance. And they are doing a food festival. So they'll have a lot of food vendors in addition to the food trucks that we normally have. So if you are a foodie, it's a great opportunity to try a lot of different kinds of food from a lot of different restaurants here in the city and beyond at the festival, as well as the amazing music that you'll find on stage. So it's a great weekend to come downtown. It's a great weekend to have your friends come in from out of town. Pittsburgh looks really cool that weekend.
Yeah. Well, the kickoff is the train ride.
The jazz train.
The jazz train. Thank you.
Trademarked.
Yes,
August
the
Wilson
jazz
Center for
train. Let
American
me
Cultural
get that right. And so this is a chance for people from New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia to get on the train and come to Pittsburgh, and then they have this whole experience while they're riding.
Yeah, it's actually a jazz train. We chartered a car, and we start in New York at New York Penn Station. People get on the train in New York. Musicians get on the train in New York. It stops in Newark. Same thing, people and musicians. Stops in Philly, and it's a jam session all the way to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then we leave New York about 11 o'clock. We get into Pittsburgh about 7:40, and then we have things for people to do when they land, or no, they land, but when the bus or the train pulls in,
pulls into the
to the station.
Yeah.
And there are other places to go and continue to hear great music. Some people will go to their rooms and their hotel rooms and relax. And others will go change clothes and hit the streets to go and hear some more music.
Yeah. Well, I had a chance to talk to Orrin Evans. He's the pianist and the host for the train. And I said, is there like a moment where people start to pass the mic? And so we're going to take a little listen to what he had to say about that.
That's what's so special about it. The first year we didn't know, we didn't know what was going to happen. So mainly it was just the band from my record label, Imani Records. They played. The next year, our second year, people came, with instruments to sit in. And it was really great. So it turned into a jam session on the train. And some people were good. Some people were people who played for a while and haven't played anymore. But it's just a great spirit. You go to the dining car and grab food. We also have some snacks and other things within our train. And Amtrak has really just made it so welcoming. They announce us and they give us such a good energy. They join the party too. The conductors are coming to the car to just cheer us on. It's a party.
To the festival. And then, so let's get into it, because what's really special this year is you guys have a tribute to George Benson.
Yes.
Tell us about that and the artists who are going to be performing at that tribute.
Well, George Benson obviously is an amazing artist, globally revered and respected. I've never presented George Benson at the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival.
Wow.
We never had an opportunity to do that, either travel or finances, whatever. We weren't able to make it happen. And this year, because we're at the 15th edition of the festival, we wanted to do something to honor him, even though he hasn't physically been here for the festival. he's still an inspiration to so many. So I talked to a friend who's an amazing musician. His name is Dan Wilson, amazing guitarist who George Benson also enjoys and respects, and commissioned him to create an all-star tribute to George Benson. So Dan will be taking a lot of the popular songs that we all know, as well as a lot of his earlier work, reimagining it, rearranging, and he wanted to bring on another amazing guitarist, Jonathan Butler,
Yes.
to handle the vocals. And Jonathan has an amazing voice. So actually, just last night, we did a Zoom call with George Benson,
Really?
Dan Wilson, Jonathan Butler, and myself. And to see those two amazing jazz musicians responding, having conversation with their hero, George Benson, was just beautiful to see. So I'm really looking forward to that evening, listening to the music, and George is really excited about it too.
Yeah.
And so we've asked the city to do a proclamation for George Benson. We'll ship that to him. He's living in Arizona. He doesn't travel much anymore, so he can't come to Pittsburgh for the event. But we also have a beautiful award that we will ship to him as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about being able to do that. He's still making music. He was in the studio when we talked
Oh, wow.
last night. So he's
Wow.
working on a new project.
Wow.
He just doesn't jump on planes anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time, but I know that there are a lot of really great artists who are going to be here, and so people will have to go on the website, pittsburghjazzfest.org, to learn more about what they can see on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday.
Yeah.
There's lots
rundown?
of performers, and it's all there.
It's all there, yeah.
It's on Facebook.
Yes, it's
It's on
everywhere.
Instagram. It's everywhere. Some things are sold out, I will say.
Yeah, George Benson tribute is sold out. VIP is sold out. There is a waiting list for both, so that you can go onto the website and click add me to the wait list if you
Yeah.
really, really want to see that show. There might be some seats that are released right before.
Yeah.
But those two projects, those two shows are sold out.
Yeah.
The festival is free, and it's in the street, so you can
Yes.
bring your chair, settle in on Saturday or Sunday, starting at noon all the way till about 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and just enjoy the music.
Well, it sounds like another great festival. I can't wait to see all that activity downtown. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Seasons. We're lucky enough to live in a region that has 4 of them each year like clockwork. The one thing we know about seasons is they are temporary, but seasons are more than meteorological passage of time. Seasons are about preparation both in the earth and in life. Seasons drive the ecosystem for plants, animals, and us. In life, we need our current season to prepare for the next one. So it's true, every season has a reason. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.